The Dead Don't Die is a 2019 zombie comedy directed by Jim Jarmush, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Jim Jarmusch is a director that has an extremely unique vision. Ohio born, he does a lot of like slower paced, kind of art house films, but very driven and focused on like the script and the dialogue and strangely paced films. That's the best way I can put it. I am actually not the biggest Jim Jarmusch fan overall, but there's two films of him specifically that I really love. This being one of them. The other one is Only Lovers Left Alive. This has a huge cast, including Bill Murray and Adam Driver, who kind of lead the film, I would say. And then we got Tilda Swinton in here, who's a character in herself in everything she shows up in. Steve Buscemi is hilarious in here. You got Danny Glover, Chloe Sevigny, said Adam Driver already, Rosie Perez, Caleb Landry Jones. Selena Gomez shows up in here. Iggy Pop shows up as a zombie. RZA. Have I sold you already? Do you need more reasons to watch this film? It's ridiculous. It really is. I liked it, but I'm going to start off right off the bat that you have to know who Jim Jarmusch is, so go look up his filmography first. He's done Ghost Dog. He did Patterson recently, starring Adam Driver, which I personally found a little bit too slow, too boring for my taste, but it got critically praised like crazy. So know who he is, know what kind of movies he does, and know that this is not going to be your typical zombie film, like, at all. At all. Other than the fact that there's zombies in it, and it is a zombie comedy, but it's as slow as the zombies are. Let's just say that. And the humor is dry. If you know, like, British dry humor, this is, like, in the same vein, except American. But the humor is dry as sand. Like, funny. I found it hilarious, but it's just that kind of movie. So we have this little town called Centerville, and it's a real nice place. That's what the sign says. Centerville, a real nice place. This was all shot in Pennsylvania, and there is a lot of things about it that do feel Night of the Living Dead / Dawn of the Dead ish. In tone. So I do like that. That's kind of cool. And in the small town, you have these small town folk. The film opens up with the two police officers played by Bill Murray and Adam Driver. Adam Driver's name is Ronnie. Bill Murray's name is Cliff. And there's this hermit guy. Like, he's basically a hobo. He lives in the forest. And he just hates people. Like, he wants to stay the hell away from people. He's kind of like conspiracy minded. He's always collecting like mushrooms and shit like that. And he's just like a hippie, drug fueled mind kind of dude. And they open up with him, and he starts shooting at the two cops, and they're so chill about it. Like, Ronnie's like, should we bring him in? Like, one of these days we just have to bring him in. And Cliff is like, he's harmless. Apparently, one of the farmers of the town, Frank, who's played by Steve Buscemi, claims that this hobo guy stole a chicken, and he's going off that his animals are disappearing and stuff like that. We figure out that the Earth's rotation, or the Earth's axis, has shifted, and this is causing global catastrophes and stuff like that. And we have all these goofy characters in this small town acting very small town and nonchalant, which we've seen in other horror comedies and zombie comedies before, where everybody's just so chill and, not reacting in chaos and panic with this whole chaotic, panic-inducing thing going on in the world. And the whole film is like that. This film also breaks fourth walls like I've never seen a film break fourth walls. There's a theme song called The Dead Don't Die by Sturgill Simpson, who is an actual American country singer. And they're listening to him on the radio, Cliff and Ronnie, Bill Murray and Adam Driver. And Adam Driver's like, yeah, it's Sturgill Simpson. Yeah, it's the theme song, to the movie. So the characters in this movie, at least Adam Driver and Bill Murray's character, know that they're in a movie and being filmed making a movie. So at one point, Ronnie, played by Adam Driver, is like, "Yeah, this is all gonna end badly." And Bill Murray's like, "How do you know?" And Ronnie's like, "Oh, because Jim gave me the script." So he literally mentions Jim, like Jim Jarmush, and the script, and like the fact that they're in a movie. It just goes bonkers with the fourth wall shit. It's funny. There's the diner scene, which I just find so hilarious in its simplicity, but in its hilariosity, the way it plays out. There's the two waitresses closing up, and this is where Iggy Pop's zombie shows up with this other zombie, apparently one of the town alcoholics who loves Chardonnay. And the zombies do talk a little bit in this movie. They basically say like one words of things they remember, very Dawn of the Deadish, and they're like coffee, and then Iggy Pop like pours coffee all over himself, and the alcoholic lady, she's like Chardonnay. And there's a scene with these little kid zombies running around, and they're just saying like Skittles, chocolates, all this weird shit. I like the way they make like the moon look. The moon is very colorful, and it looks like it has like green smoke coming out of it. Very kind of Return of the Living Dead kind of humor in that. The zombies, when they get shot, they don't bleed, which this is not a PG-13 film, but it could be a PG-13 film just because of that. They just smoke basically. Like, it looks like dust coming out of them. It's like either black or purple smoke that whenever they get their heads blown up, they kind of just smoke outside their necks or their wounds or whatever. And I found that was kind of a cool touch. And then we have these kids show up into town. Selena Gomez, Austin Butler's in this film. So I just found that out when I recently watched this for this viewing, that I saw Austin Butler come up in the credits. I'm like, holy shit, this is this is like 3 years before Elvis. This is gonna be awesome. So he's in here with Selena Gomez and this other guy. The three of them are driving through town, and then they stay at a motel, and they stop by this corner shop, or this like basically collector's store kind of thing. And Caleb Landry Jones's character works there, and he is a very caricature type of character that is very like nerdy and knowledgeable about everything. Like, he's the know-it-all of zombies and lore and pop culture and stuff like that when it comes to horror. Basically what you would expect Caleb Landry Jones to a type of character to play. And he's so funny. Just Selena Gomez falls for him because she's impressed with his film knowledge, which is really funny. They're driving a Pontiac 68, which is the same one from Night of the Living Dead, the original, and Landry Jones's character is like, yeah, very George Romero. I love it. And one of the kids makes reference to Psycho, and he's like, he says something along the lines of like, yeah, wasn't it like that old horror movie where the hotel is split into bungalows? And then Caleb Landry Jones is like, the Bates Motel wasn't split into little bungalows, as if he's like this know-it-all fucking guy. I love that, because like I'm that guy sometimes when it comes to horror and anything I'm interested in, especially film and cinema. I can sometimes, my snob Dexter can come out. Sometimes I try to hold it back, but sometimes it comes out. The hermit guy finds the book Moby Dick in the forest, and I only bring this up because a lot of times, coincidentally, I'll see the same things repeated in different movies that have nothing to do with each other. And lately I've been seeing the Moby Dick theme come out in a lot of films I've been seeing recently. One of the recent ones being The Whale. They reference Moby Dick in that movie. And they reference Moby Dick in this one. I don't really see how that Herman Melville story plays out to this story specifically, though I haven't read the book, so I can't really say. It's just a theme that I've seen pop up coincidentally in different films that I've been watching as of late. Tilda Swinton's character is a character of her own, so Steve Buscemi's, but I mean, Tilda Swinton is this Scottish coroner who is working at a funeral parlor in this small town, and she's also really into samurai. So she has no problem fighting off the zombies. It's hilarious. Like, she's literally just walking around chilling, and she's slicing zombies' heads off as if she's like walking her dog. It is so funny. and her practicing samurai, when right in the next room are like bodies that she's preparing for the funeral and shit like that. And at one point she's putting makeup on two of them, but their eyes keep opening, and she's like, "What is going on here?" And she keeps closing them, and they keep opening, and she's so nonchalant about everything. Steve Buscemi's a huge racist. He wears a fucking hat that says "Make America White Again," because it has to go that step further beyond "Make America Great Again." And he's literally at a diner having a conversation with Danny Glover's character, whose name is Hank. And Frank, Steve Buscemi, the racist, is sitting beside Hank, chilling, talking about everyday things, and he's wearing a hat that says "Make America White Again." Yeah. So many things can be said. Selena Gomez, it goes without saying, one of the hottest pieces of ass, no pun intended. I can't even speak thinking of Selena Gomez. The shorts that she wears in this movie, need I say more? She's filling the car with gas, and it's just straight out of a freaking commercial. If that wasn't done on purpose, I don't know. I have no words. I have nothing to say. At one point, she gets her head chopped off by Adam Driver, and it's plays out very dry and very funny in that scene as well, because he's about to do it, but then he notices the Sturgill Simpson CD with "The Dead Don't Die" on it beside her body, and he looks at it and he's like, "Oh, Sturgill Simpson," and then he decides to keep it, and then chops Selena's character's head off and carries her head by the hair. They're all making comments at him that he's like disrespecting the dead bodies, and he makes a dead hipster comment or something like that, and then they get back into the car, and then they start listening to "The Dead Don't Die" again. "The Dead Don't Die" is the theme song of the film, and they keep going with it. It's in the opening credits, and it's in the final credits, and it's all throughout the film, and it's referenced all the time. And then there's the climax, and the climax is, again, all in a graveyard, and I've mentioned this before. When it comes to zombie movies, I love graveyard settings. I mean, they're made for zombie movies, and zombie movies are made for graveyards. And again, Adam Driver's character Ronnie already knows that it's going to end badly, so he knows that Jim Jarmusch told him that basically they have to give it their best shot, so they do, and they go give it their best shot, and he has a machete, I think, and Bill Murray has a shotgun, and they're just mauling zombies till they basically meet their demise, where it ends badly, and the film kind of ends right there. So it's a mixed bag, like, when it comes to opinions. Some people despise it because it's just stupid and slow, but you have to know that that's the type of movie it is. And the thing that I have to emphasize is you have to know what kind of director Jim Jarmusch is. And like I said, with this movie and Only Lovers Left Alive being the ones that I like of him, I really haven't seen another film by him that I liked at all. Just not for me. I think his style works great for monster movies and supernatural movies like horror stuff, because Only Lovers Left Alive has to do with vampires. But when he takes that same tone and that same style to serious topics, they don't work for me. So I think I'm more inclined to his supernatural kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, this film worked a ton for me. The cast alone, I mean, that's a reason to at least try seeing it by itself, because every character just they bring out everything in themselves. RZA is in here as a Woo PS driver. Instead of UPS, he's a Woo PS, Wu-Tang. It's so clever. It's great. It's great. It's a good execution of dry humor, and I absolutely loved it with zombies. So, I mean, when you can deliver some great humor into a zombie movie and still get, like, there's not too much gore in it, like I said, but still deliver some good kills. It's funny that I say that this film has great kills, but no gore. Or it has gore, but like not with the zombies kind of thing. Not what you would expect the gore to be in a zombie movie. But there is gore because there is people like being mauled and being eaten and everything. So I liked it. Know who you are going in. It's hilarious. If you've seen it already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next time, have a good one. Take care and cheers.